Laura Ingalls Wilder, born Laura Elizabeth Ingalls, is a notable American author most known for her semi-historical Little House series, such as Little House on the Prairie, that was later turned into a popular TV show. Laura grew up as a pioneer girl on the American frontier. Her and her family would move west in hopes of laying down roots and homestead this new rugged land. Laura's story would begin here in Wisconsin, a few miles outside of Pepin, located deep in the big woods in the northern part of the state. This would be the setting of her first book, Little House in the Big Woods. This is also the birthplace of Laura Ingalls and the home state of her mother and maternal grandparents. Laura was the last of a dying generation, the American pioneer. So her story gives us a glimpse of what it was like to grow up in a truly difficult and tough era as such. Her story hits close to home, as I live a very short distance away from where her mother grew up and maternal grandparents lived, as well as her paternal grandparents. In the small town of Rome, Wisconsin, lies a small cemetery with a plaque dedicated to Carolyn Quiner Ingalls' mother, Charlotte Tucker Holbrook.
That's pretty cool. All the birds.
Laura's maternal grandmother, Charlotte Tucker, was born on May 25, 1809, in the state of Massachusetts. She would meet her first husband, Laura's maternal grandfather, Henry Quiner, who was born in 1807 in New Haven, Connecticut. The couple would marry April 2, 1831, and they would settle down in the southeastern part of Wisconsin, and they would have 7 children together, including Laura's mother, Carolyn Quiner Ingalls. Carolyn was born in Brookfield, Wisconsin on December 12, 1839. She was the 5th child of 7, 3 brothers and 3 sisters. When Carolyn was only 5, her father would die in a tragic schooner accident on Lake Michigan, leaving his young family behind. Her mother would eventually remarry, giving her the last name Holbrook. Henry Quiner would set sail from the shores of Lake Michigan in the fall of 1845. A second mate on a schooner named Ocean headed for the Mackinac Islands. A vicious storm would cause the ship to capsize, then right itself again, beaching in the shallows. No sign of survivors was ever found, and it was noted that the lifeboat itself was gone. It was then concluded all men had been lost at sea, including Henry Quiner. In February of 1860, Carolyn would meet Charles Ingalls in Concord, Wisconsin, and they would be wed, having 5 children and eventually settling down in South Dakota until their passings.
This is it, guys. The final resting place of Charlotte Quiner Holbrook. which was Laura Ingalls' maternal grandmother. Carolyn Ingalls, Ma Ingalls, was her mom, buried right here. Gets me kind of emotional.
That's pretty neat. So awesome. Here's Charlotte Holbrook. Now, her first husband, I guess, passed away in an unfortunate schooner accident, but yeah, here it is, guys. Laura Ingalls Wilder's legacy continues to this day. Her writing has made its way into many public schools and is celebrated as a piece of pioneer history. Even if her tales are historical fiction, much of it is based in truth, off of real-life characters that we grew to love while reading her books or even watching the TV show. I feel honored to be able to say I grew up around the same area as Laura's maternal family. To know that a bit of that legacy is under my feet, absolutely incredible. And so ends our short visit with Laura Ingalls' mother and grandmother in the small, quaint village of Concord, Wisconsin.